Himachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly elections are scheduled to be held on November 12. This would be a single-phase poll where 68 members will get elected. Counting of votes and declaration of the results will happen on December 8. Historically, the state has usually returned the party in opposition to power in past 13 assembly elections. The Congress and BJP have been usually the big players. BJP is trying its best to break the pattern. Interestingly, both sides don't have any high-profile state-level leaders. How do things look like on ground? To understand this, we have with us Rakesh Mohan Chaturvedi from The Economic Times. Hi, Rakesh.
Hi.
When you were there in Himachal Pradesh this time, did you really find any undercurrent or a strong trend of any kind that could probably play a determining role in this election?
Yeah, so Himachal Pradesh may be a small state with just 68 assembly seats, but there are a lot of important factors here which make the election interesting. This is also the BJP chief, JP Nadda's home state, and BJP is trying to break the trend of the incumbent being voted out. The Modi factor is again very important in Himachal Pradesh. Congress, on the other hand, is upbeat because it had won the Mandi Lok Sabha seat. Pratibha Singh, the widow of Veerbhadra Singh, had won that seat, plus also the 3 assembly seats which went to by-polls. And that has given a lot of hope to Congress. Also the fact that the ruling party has been voted out since 1985. The rebels are another very important factor.
In fact, that is where I would like to step in, Rakesh, because on one hand we have Congress, we have the BJP, and we have a lot of BJP rebel candidates.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, we also have the AAP, which may not be a big factor. In this kind of a scenario, how do you look at these battles going? Which way will they go?
Yeah, so the BJP seems to be the worst affected as far as the rebels are concerned. There are 21 rebel BJP candidates, BJP rebels who are in the fray. And Aam Aadmi Party has not been able to make much of a headway in Himachal Pradesh. This is similar to what happened in Uttarakhand. And so it's more of a straight battle between the BJP and the Congress. The rebels may become a deciding factor in case there is a hung assembly, because this seems to be a close election.
So you mean that the fight will be on a seat-by-seat basis?
Yeah, so this being a hill state and a small state, the local factors become very important, and that is where the independent candidates and the rebels may become the determining factor. And so it's become a very localized election in that sense, and national issues are not at play to the extent that one would see in some other big states.
Considering the fact that the only high-profile campaigner for Congress was Priyanka Gandhi,
Yeah.
and OPS, the old pension scheme, has been their big promise to the people of the state. On the other hand, you have a Modi who is trying to talk about the fact double engine ki sarkar, and the fact that every vote to any candidate or every vote to the Lotus is a vote for Modi, even in the state. So how do you think the battle is even equitable at this point of time?
Yeah, so Himachal Pradesh is not a very industrialized state. It's most of about 40% of the households in Himachal Pradesh see people joining the defense forces, and most of them are government servants. The industries are confined to the districts bordering Punjab, and tourism and apple growing are the other means of income. So the old pension scheme seems to have got a lot of traction, and a lot of people, voters, talk about it when ET went to these constituencies. So that seems to have given a fillip to the Congress. Priyanka Gandhi is the only star campaigner, but in some ways that may help the Congress, because Rahul Gandhi's campaigning has not really worked to a great extent for the Congress. Of course, the fact that Rahul Gandhi is busy with the Bharat Jodo Yatra is one explanation that the Congress has. As far as Modi is concerned, the BJP, because it is slightly on the back foot, because Mr. Dhumal had lost the election last time, and so Jairam Thakur is not such a mass leader. And
he's not a big name, and there have been quite a few of his decisions which have been overturned by center.
So there is a general belief that it's the bureaucracy which is running the show in Himachal Pradesh, and Jairam Thakur has not been a very inspiring leader in that sense. And so the BJP is banking again on the Narendra Modi charisma and feels that it will be able to come to power again on the basis of Narendra Modi's campaigning.
Himachal Pradesh is one state where a big chunk of the youth joins the Fauj.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, replete with the fact there are a lot of people who join the Fauj. Agniveer and the anti-campaign against Agniveer on one hand. On the other hand, PM Modi is celebrating special days with armed force people. Those optics versus anger in terms of job options.
No, so I felt that it actually has gone against the BJP in some sense, because people in Himachal Pradesh, the youth, sees the defense forces as a source of a permanent job. And Agniveer has disappointed them to quite an extent, especially when they look at the elders in the family who have served in the armed forces, and they are getting a pension. They have served for a longer, for their whole lifetime. So
it's their old age support system.
Yeah. So that, and so the Agniveer scheme had seen a lot of protests in Dharamshala, in Hamirpur and other districts, effigy burning and even violence, and police had to resort to use of force to disperse the youth. So they are not much enthused by the Agniveer scheme. They were expecting that they will get permanent recruitment.
My one last question, a fallout from what you are saying. Do you really think BJP's promise of UCC, the Uniform Civil Code, going to cut any ice for them to their benefit?
Himachal Pradesh does not have much of a minority population, and there is hardly any constituency where the minority votes are a determining factor in the outcome. So there was no opposition as such to the Uniform Civil Code. People were more or less neutral, saying that if it is implemented, well and good. If it is, they were not opposing it, but then they were not really enthused by it, saying that they will vote for the BJP just because it's mentioned in the manifesto.
In fact, these are the states where which really don't have much of a huge or a bigger chunk of minority votes. So probably it may not be a very big factor.
Yeah, so the minority population would not even add up to say about 10%. Yeah. And it is only in pockets like Chamba, a few constituencies there, then in Sirmaur, and one constituency in Shimla district. So there's Paonta Sahib again has some minority population, but it's not much. So there's not much. There is hardly any opposition to the UCC, but then it is not a factor that
would drive people out of their homes to come out and vote. Thanks a lot, Rakesh. And it was really a good discussion to understand the sentiment of people in the poll-bound state of Himachal Pradesh. Keep watching this space for more videos. We would come up with more updates and information and analysis on December 8 as the results start coming in.